Hello and welcome to Acolyte Insights Explosion Network's after show where we break down and discuss each and every episode of the Disney Plus original Star Wars series, The Acolyte. My name's Dylan Blight and joining me, Ashley Huntley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here talking about this show that maybe questions whether the weekly discussion is worth it.
Yeah, and how you
Is it
feel
worth
about that?
what we have to pay for it?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just get that out of the way. I actually, it's so funny. You know, those times where it's like I'm sitting in a room by myself and I literally finished the episode 5 minutes ago. As the episode finished, I just went out loud in a room by myself. Fuck's sake. You know, like, really? Come on. You want to just cut the credits on that? But fair enough. Tease me until next week.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about all the discussion from last week's episode.
Yeah.
The most divisive piece of media this year, I think.
I'm sick of it. I even had, all right, just quick side note. I asked someone at work today, hey, have you been watching Acolyte? Oh, no, I'm watching that. It looks, I've heard it's trash. I was like, oh, for fuck. Stop watching so many fucking bullshit YouTube. I literally was like, just stop watching.
If they hate more things than they actually like, they're not worth following.
Well, no, this is what they say, right? I'm completely throwing under the bus because if this is without an ounce of understanding how ridiculous it is to say it, they go, okay, have you even watched it? No, but I watched a video where someone broke it down on YouTube and pointed out all the bad stuff. I go,
you can do that about anything.
You're fucking like, come on.
Yeah.
And and here's the thing, right? Young person makes me I feel old when I say that, but a young person, and this is the problem with all these like ultra, you know, these dude bro YouTubers or what have you, usually hate women and anyone of color. They
change.
That's
the main one.
Yeah, they somehow sucker in people because, you know, like this dude at work isn't none of those things, but like for some reason, just they draw.
I don't know. Algorithm.
I don't.
It is the algorithm feeding that content on other people because
it just feeds like the negative,
like a virus.
Because I cannot imagine, like, I understand reading a review for something and being like, oh, disappointing that this person didn't like it, but you know, maybe I'll check out another opinion or maybe even check it out myself. But like just I watched a 20-minute video where they broke it down scene by scene and pointed out why everything's trash.
I watched one person called I hate everything Star Wars.
Yeah.
I hated it. It was weird.
Yeah, it's surprising that Star Wars sucks _69 really disliked this episode of The Acolyte. I was shocked to find that out myself, you know.
I also think it's funny because obviously we talked last week about how we don't think that was that was very much a biased episode or like told from the point of view of the non-Jedi side.
Yeah.
And we suspect there'll be an episode where we see those events from the Jedi side.
Or at least going back there from a different point of view. Yeah.
Because a lot of the criticism I've seen is, they're making the Jedi look like terrible people.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Like, I'm a can of worms. This obviously the same people who hate they criticize anything that makes the Jedi look like idiots. The same people that didn't like Last Jedi because they didn't like the way it made Luke look. And I'm like, I get it. You just want Jedi to be you just want you want them to be
saints.
Gods. Saints. Yep.
That's boring.
Fuck, that's boring. Oh my God, is that boring? Like, are you kidding me? And I understand, and people
that's
criticize
why all those
Superman
shows about priests are like very popular.
But have you ever noticed like people criticize Superman for the same thing?
Yeah.
Like Superman, anything that's highly criticized, be it a comic book storyline through to like when he killed Zod in Man of Steel, like whatever your thoughts on that movie aside, like that choice alone pissed off a lot of people. Like you can't have Superman do that, people said.
It's the other way around. The people who are like Jedi should be fantastic are like Superman should kill people. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And it just I continue to be. I don't know. Continue just to be really disappointed in life, because as for any and all flaws this series has, the idea that people just the main reason that people are so against it is just because it's like the idea that it's not Star Wars. I'm like, what is Star Wars? I don't understand. When people are like, well, it's just not Star Wars. I'm like, what does that mean? What does
At this point,
it's not Star Wars? Yeah, in the year 2024, what is not Star Wars mean? Well, it's nothing like the original movies. Okay, so the original movies would be about 1%, if that, of the overall Star Wars content at this point. So yeah,
it's George Lucas didn't have anything to do with it. Okay, well, he chose to sell it off. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. And you actually hear stories about him, the times he gets jealous, or people like Filoni hint that he's like, oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at that, is usually on stuff like this, from all accounts. Because he was always for the new, the more new, exciting, stuff. Yeah. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I also want to touch on one other thing. So last week we said we talked about the origin of the twins.
Yeah.
We theorized it's Force babies, like Anakin, which made a lot of people angry. But the more that I think about it, and based on all the Star Wars content we've gotten so far, pretty sure they're clones.
Of who?
Of the Jodie Smith-Turner.
Okay.
It's like actual IVF clones.
Yeah.
Like Dolly the sheep.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I mean, it would add up. Star Wars does love clones. So.
Exactly.
Love a good
We've
clone.
got nothing but clones these last 10 years.
It is true. All right, this episode, which honestly, not a lot to talk about. It's. No. I mean, what are your thoughts on this episode? Hold on. Sorry, you've confused me so much. This week's episode, we're fucking 7 minutes in. We forgot to say. This week's episode was called Day. The synopsis was racing to the next target. The Jedi head to a new world as they close in on a clever assassin. It was directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Claire Kiechel, Core Adana, and of course Leslie Headland. What do you think of this week's episode?
Solid. I mean, it's definitely not a standout episode. It's like a building kind of the world and building up the characters a little bit more. It's definitely not an episode we're going to be remembering at the end of the season, except for maybe that last 5 minutes.
I don't know. I feel like, I guess my opinion on this episode is, if ever there was a sign that maybe this was originally being made as a series to binge instead of a weekly series, like this felt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
what? Some things are meant to be binged, you think?
Well, so, like, if I think about one of my favorite TV shows, Better Call Saul. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, right? That is, it's a 41, 42 minute, like, perfection nearly every week and designed as such.
Yeah, with Raker Beach Antler, right?
The problem with these shows, these Disney Plus series and other things, is that when they do like 41, 42 minute episode, and then they're like, fuck it, we'll do a 25 minute. I sometimes I just feel like the flexibility of the streaming and the trade-off that comes with the good and bad of that is that instead of having to consistently write and direct and make a 8 episodes, same length, tell a really good story over this time, it's like, we'll just do a 20 minute, 25 minute here. Does that, you get what I mean? Like, you don't have to deliver the same amount of quality storytelling over the same time period, week by week by week. Sometimes you just get to go, 20 minutes less. Fuck it.
Yeah.
For the good and bad of that. But yeah. Yeah. I did like the episode. I think that, like, I'm watching the whole time going, wondering what's going to happen, theorizing all this sort of stuff, but it's a lot of setup well, not set up. Just it's a lot of getting from A to B, and we get to the end, and then just like look out for next week because maybe some cool shit's gonna happen. But I mean that last like couple minutes was some good shit. So like let's be real. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm as I said a couple weeks ago. I'm now at 110% sure that Manny Jacinto is the bad guy. Like,
What do you think? Manny's got in the mask?
Yeah, I said that a couple weeks ago. Remember?
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm doubling down. I'm 100. I'm 110% now.
You gonna throw it out there, like on the internet, like in text, tweet it out. Manny is the master.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure people would. Like, I just don't feel like after this episode, I'd be surprised if that's not the going theory. Like a couple weeks ago, yeah, I could see how you're like, there's no way, because I just felt it in my loins, But after this episode, I know my way there. I'm going in because I'm here to help you. Oh, I don't owe him. He just collects people. Oh, I'm hanging upside down. Oh no, trap me. Also, suddenly the Wookiee's dead now that she said that she's not going to kill him, and he just so happens to be there. There are way too old mate's carrying around a fucking bag with him the whole episode. It fucking just has his helmet and lightsaber in it. I guarantee. Like,
his bag did not look that big.
But
I don't know. It could be retractable.
Yeah. I think it's and look, if he turns out to be the master, the unknown master, I sort of love it because the idea of him pretending to be this bumbling idiot to
it would be such great casting.
Yeah,
because Manny Jacinto deserves this. Deserves a role, I guess. After getting shafted in Top Gun, being a background guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean, it would be
pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool, I think.
It would be pretty cool to have, an Asian Jedi Master against an Asian Dark Force use.
And I mean, his entrance at the end there, be it him or not, like that master, just that was something out of a horror movie. The way they filmed that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The out of focus.
Who directed this one?
Alex Garcia Lopez. Which actually, let me have a look because I don't.
Is he one of the?
So he's directed The Witcher, Cowboy Bebop, couple episodes of that, Chilling Sabrina, a bunch of old TV shit, just all over the place. Bunch of TV stuff. Next week's episode as well, same director. So.
That makes sense.
But yeah, the out of focus shot of him floating down, I was like, that is some scary shit.
I mean, and then to see his helmet, which we didn't see.
Yeah, which just looks like something like out of a, I don't know, like a fucking anime or something. Like it just something about it.
Yeah, kind of, because it's like the scraped metal smile across.
Yeah, seems very anime.
Yeah,
very Japanese, sort of horror inspired. Whatever that official Japanese horror genre is, I can't think of the top of my head. But, yeah, so that was really cool. Rewinding to the front end quickly as we go through it a little bit. But shout out to my boy Paul Bullion at the start. He was playing the Jedi, teaching the Padawans and stuff. He played Lambert in The Witcher. So whatever reason, I always recognize him and stuff for some reason. But anyway, so that was cool. And then obviously, you get a whole bunch of backwards and forth between all the Jedi. Also, Kid Adadi Mundi is here, right? The Jedi with the big fucking egghead. He is. I didn't realize he is apparently that old, but he's one of the Jedi that you get to see die in Order 66. Like he gets gunned down by a bunch of clone troopers there. So I don't know if you want to count that as a cameo or something like that, but they because it says it's actually his I was like, oh no, like I don't assume it's
Wow,
him
that
just 'cause
is
it looks
crazy.
like him.
I see an image of him sitting next to Yoda and Mace Windu.
Yeah. So I mean, we know Yoda's around at this time period. Like that's a thing. So, but I didn't know that he was around during this time period, and I didn't like watching the episode. I was like, oh no, that might not be him. But in the credits, it says it's him. So there you go. So that was pretty cool. You get the whole Jedi. I think the small council, whatever you want to call it, the Jedi that gather to discuss what they're going to do
It's
here.
not the council, right? Oh, well,
It's not
High
the council. Yeah. So the High Council would be Yoda and stuff, and all the main Jedi that you see mentioned in the books and comics and stuff like that for this High Republic era. But yeah, the group that are gathered with Vanessa Rao, who's the other main. She's like the most, I think, leadership position. You know, obviously why she's leading the meeting and everything. I think the fact that they're like, man, she must have been trained by a Jedi, and then no one says the word Sith, really sort of helps. Really helps sort of solidify that
it's not even their thought.
It's not even the thought process. Like the Sith have been gone for so long at this point. Like the old Republic era, right? Sith have been gone for so long and not talked about, or maybe even just removed from the Jedi records a bit. Like maybe they're even like, but the thing that shocks me the most is that no one says it. I'm like, I understand if they're not around for so long, but you would think the Jedi would still teach them like what to be aware of and, you know, all these sorts of things. And not to say that I think the Master is Sith, but I mean, the dude has a red lightsaber. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Can maybe potentially play into the just showing how, you know, naive and stupid the Jedi are, which we know, leading into the 100 years later after this when Palpatine rises to power. So, you know, just little tidbits about, look, the idiots here and the idiots here. The Jedi, idiots everywhere. And internet YouTubers say, that's the problem. I'm like, well, this show didn't do that. They started showing the Jedi idiots in fucking Phantom Menace. You know?
Yep.
So.
I'm looking at his mask now. I thought it was like a scraped, but he's got like full teeth.
Yeah, he's got like full teeth and everything in there. It's fucking.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
It's wild.
Yeah, that could be Manny Jacinto's hand.
Oh, you're now like suddenly you're like, you know what? Maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
The little flick, blast May around or whatever. Osha, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they go to, I guess that, yeah, no. So let's get to the real start of the episode. Bazil. You know, every now and then, not super often these days, but every now and then, Star Wars introduces a new critter, and like, there's no other way to describe it than that is some Star Wars ass, Star Wars and shit. You know.
Last one was what's his face from Rise of Skywalker. That everybody loved.
Yeah, the little mechanic dude whose name I can't remember. But that species. And then they show back up in The Mandalorian or whatever.
And of course, we're all inundated with porgs.
I do love a porg. So, Bazil, which also, I'm predicting it now. So here's the problem with this. Here's the headlines, and I haven't looked. Actually, I'll do it now. We're like, they're going to have those idiot YouTubers we were talking about before. Let's type it in the Acolyte. They're going to have a real problem with her asking, what's his or their name or whatever she says. That is going to be grabbed onto like a fucking flare to the anus, I reckon.
Probably.
They said pronouns.
They said two. They could have. Why didn't they say both? Yeah.
All right, 6 hours ago. I'm not going to say the YouTube channel because I don't want to fucking put it. But the title of this video is The Acolyte Episode 4, Black Girl Magic and Pronouns. It's so predictable. It's crazy.
Anyway, also, it was Babu Freak.
Yeah,
was the
Bubby
mechanic.
Freak. That's right, Bubby Freak.
Bubble
Yeah,
Freak.
we do love Bubby Freak. But yeah, Bazil's pretty fucking cool. Like,
He gets blasted in the face straight away by Pip.
yeah, that's pretty funny. That was a good bit. I love that. Squirts in his face. Well, actually, no, that's a weird way to say it. Blast in the face. No, it still doesn't help. Squirt some water in his face. All right. But
Yeah, that's the Wonderland.
Yeah, so Bazil puts on these, he's a tracker. Old mate was like, "No, I don't want to learn Shri Rook. That's for fucking nerds. I'm gonna learn to speak Basilian or whatever. I don't know.
I'm gonna learn this very obscure language.
Yeah, they're. I'm looking.
I don't want to take Spanish. I want to take Portuguese.
Official Star Wars blog. So yeah, Bazil is a. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Tainanan tracker. So the species is Tainanan. His name's Bazil. Well, their name's Bazil.
Yeah, their name's Bazil. Because we didn't get an answer.
True. That's a good point. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Bazil, so he puts to chuck on the, puts on the blinders to follow.
So he can focus.
Focus to follow those. I love that. So, yeah, I hope we get more Bazil.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Next week, he's going to take out Manny Jacinto.
I can imagine he just comes up. Actually, to be fair, I never saw Manny Jacinto, the Master, and this guy in the same room. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, read into that as well. But yeah, I mean, between that and that, not much else happened. A lot of chat, a lot of cool moments. I thought the couple moments that Dafne Keen and Amandla Stenberg had were good shared moments, obviously, between Osha and whatever her Padawan character's name is.
They got vibes.
I like them paired up like that. That was cool.
Jackie
and just
Long.
The whole, Jackie Long. There you go. The line is about you're not defined by your loss, but what you overcome or whatever was a nice moment.
Mm-hmm.
And thought that was cool. Lee Jung-jae continues to be awesome. Master Souls continues to be awesome.
Takes out a big bug.
Takes out a bug. Good for him. And Kel Necker, they were like, "Fuck yeah, Wookiee Jedi. Let's see how this goes."
Dead.
Dead.
Don't get to see anything.
Which is swerve, which I'm fine with, but yeah.
Yeah.
Old mate Joonas Suotamo said Suotamo got to film 2 scenes of him walking into that house, and then one inside dead. So
yeah,
good for him.
Get that payday. Also, love that May is like when she's running away from Manny. She's like, I'm going to turn myself in. This skilled Force user who we've seen be super graceful just trips on a bunch of mushrooms.
Yep.
Straight
into Bazil tripped her up.
It was a trap. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more
sense. Bazil's
a
tracker and a trapper.
Yep.
Double T, anything else from this episode?
No, just hurry up and give us next week.
Yeah. Big cliffhanger, obviously, but keen to see how we go. I hope we get the reveal next week. I'm very much... you
don't want it to drag out?
Yeah, I'd sort of... I'm like, I don't need that episode... cliffhanger episode 7 reveal just for one episode knowing. Like, I feel like next week you reveal. Especially if we're under the presumption that episode 6, I think it was, or whichever one goes back to being directed by
Kogonada. Yeah.
Kogonada, yeah. Presuming that's a flashback as well, just based on nothing but same director.
It makes sense.
But it does make sense, yeah. So then we've got 3 episodes that aren't a flashback. So it's like just I think we need to get the reveal next week, I think. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense because then next week get a reveal, they escape. We get the flashback where we assume Sol tells us what really happened, or at least the Jedi side, with May and Osha when they were kids. Then we get we get the penultimate, and then we get the finale.
Yeah. And then I don't know if they've ever said that they want to do more of this, or is it supposed to be a one and done? Or
is it a miniseries or is it a dramas.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever really classified that. So
Yeah.
Anyway, good episode, but
Good stuff.
Just get them from A to B. Let's go. Can't wait for next week. Should be exciting. All those lightsabers just got absolutely fucking. That was a good force push. I'll give them that.
It was, yeah. You know,
massive force.
Is he going to be overpowering them all? Would be the question.
I mean, yeah, I think.
Yeah,
old mate's powerful. Maybe just so you know, OP calling it right now.
Yeah. I also love that Osha was like, I don't want to wear their ceremonial robes. I don't want to wear civilian
just
robes.
It was a good job.
Cut straight
to sitting there, arms crossed. Yep. Good bit. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode. Of course, let us know what you thought of the episode. Explosionumber.com/Twitter takes you to our Twitter page. Explosionumber.com/Discord takes you to our Discord page. If you want to support the website and/or this podcast, you can do that by donating as little as $1. Explosionumber.com/support takes you to our Ko-fi page. Until next week, please don't make me report you to the High Council. Goodbye.
Because then they'll have to report us to the Senate, and it just gets awkward.
We don't want to do that, and then the paperwork, yeah.
Then there'll be distrust, and of course,